This is The Miller's Edge with Christian Miller, two-time national champion and team captain for the Alabama Crimson Tide, and former Carolina Panther, and his father, Corey Miller, the pastor of pain, a 9-year NFL veteran with the New York Giants and University of South Carolina Hall of Famer. This is The Miller's Edge.
And welcome into this Wednesday edition of the Miller's Edge, Tide 100.9, 1230 WTBC. Hope everybody's doing well. Hope you guys are having a great start to your day. We got a number of things to dive into today. We are inching closer and closer to football, really getting started again. NFL training camps pretty much taking off. Talked a lot about, we talked a lot of NFL yesterday. And see, Chase, remember when I said earlier in the show, I said, look, sometimes when you get away from Alabama talk, I guess it kind of, I don't know. It tends to, I don't know. It just, I don't know. We heard from JR and he's like, oh, well, I feel like we got dominated by the Jalen Hurts, Cam Newton talk. I'm like, well, I mean, it was kind of running. So we went with it. That being said, hey, Chase, can you still hear me? I just want to make sure my screen froze on my end.
Yes. Can you hear me, Christian?
Yeah, so we're good. For whatever reason, the screen is frozen, but as long as the audio works, we're good. I'll keep rolling for now. But anyway, we did get into some NFL talk. Again, I want to be able to spread it out, though, because I know we talk so much about Alabama, and I think it's just important. Sometimes, you talk a little pros, talk this and that, whatever. So if it does get, a little bit to the point where y'all like, oh man, I want to go back to Alabama. Just bear with us, guys. And remember, you always can call and we can change the subject, but I don't ever want it to be where we just only talk about one thing. All right. And all of a sudden my screen just refreshed and now we're back to normal. So, all right, that's better. I don't know what happened, but a little technical difficulty. Never hurt anybody. Anyway, speaking of training camps going on, I'm looking at a clip right now, Chase, and it's actually of Jalen Hurts, who we talked a lot about yesterday. And I'm trying to be careful with this because I know ESPN got fooled. Somebody posted a clip and they made it seem like it was from the Cowboys training camp or a certain player. They put it on their show and ended up not being the case. I see a random tweet and it's from a Cowboys fan account. So that's why I'm like, I don't even know how legit this is, but allegedly they're saying Jalen had a rough first day of training camp. And he finished the day 7 of 22, 104 yards with 5 interceptions, which, again, that could be cap, could be fake news, but would be ironic after we just talked about that. But I'm pretty sure that that's an old video and somebody's just trying to be a troll. But even if that was the case, it wouldn't matter. But I just thought it was funny. And I'm like, damn, we just were talking them up yesterday. Wouldn't that be something? Anyway, in terms of what we got for you guys today, Greg McElroy, former Alabama quarterback, he shared his thoughts on Alabama this season, had a lot of praise for him. It's a quick little video. You guys know how we do. We're going to dive into that, listen to that, react to it. We'll hear from Greg and get his thoughts. Plus, we got a little update from, I guess as of now, QB1, right? We should say that, or QB1, whatever you want to call it. Ty Simpson. He did a little video with is that QB reps or something like that? I don't know. But it was like a 2-minute video, and he kind of was just, talking about, where he's at right now, what people can expect from him and all that good stuff. So I want to listen to that and respond to that video. I thought it was really good. And always other stuff comes up. You've got Tommy Castellanos. Me and Chase were just talking about that. Allegedly, he still hasn't finished talking. He and look, what'd you expect, right? When you come out and you make all that noise, or just a few weeks back, a couple months back, people are going to ask you about it, especially when you get up on that podium. So of course it came back up. And you would have thought that maybe he would have took the angle of maybe, you know what, let me just back up off of this and I don't know, not right his wrong, but you guys get what I'm saying, kind of clean it up a little bit. But it sounded like he ended up tripling down on what he said, right? So we'll definitely take a look at what Tommy Castellano had to say. We'll do that here in a second. Per usual, let me remind you about our friends over at the Good Feet Store, America's Arch Support experts. Try before you buy, nothing to lose. Make sure you guys check them out. The Good Feet Store, home of those premium arch supports designed to eliminate and alleviate all types of pain, whether it's foot pain, knee pain, back pain, you name it. They will take care of that pain for you in just 4 short weeks. That is clinically proven. All you got to do is throw them in your shoes. It's as simple as that. It's literally all you do. Just put arch supports in your shoes and you get on with your day. So make sure you guys check them out. Midtown Village is where you can find them here in Tuscaloosa, right there off of McFarland Boulevard. Or you can always go to their website where you can schedule an appointment, find the nearest location to you. Again, that is the Good Feet Store, improving the quality of people's lives 2 feet at a time. How can you guys get in on the conversation? Well, you probably already know the drill, but let me remind you guys, 205-342-9904. Hit us up. We want to hear from you guys. We got plenty to talk about. Plus, we love getting y'all's questions, whether it's football, whatever the case may be. We'll definitely talk about it. And we definitely encourage you to do that. Plus, we always encourage you guys to head over to YouTube. Join us on the stream right there. You can watch me do the show. We also stream on Facebook. You can watch right there. Get in the chat, interact with everybody, have a good discussion, and you just have a good time. So always encourage you guys to do that at The Miller's Edge on YouTube. Very simple to do. Plus, you can always follow us on X, where you can send us all types of clips, content, whatever the case may be, anything that comes to mind or that you see that you want us to watch, react, and then talk about. Send it on over, and we'll definitely take a look at it and discuss that here on the show. That being said, that's what we got planned. But first, we got to get to this first time out. So we're going to go ahead and do that. And we come back, we get started right here on this Wednesday edition of the show. Tide 100.9, 1230 WTBC, presented by the Good Feet Store, America's Arch Support experts. Quick time out. We'll be right back.
The Tide 100.9 WTBC 1230 Sports Radio studio is presented by B-Dry Alabama. B-Dry Waterproofing. Online at bdryalabama.com.
At Tuscaloosa Mazda, they are expanding their showroom to serve you better. Come see their new and pre-owned Mazda lineup, offering fuel efficiency, advanced technology, and plush comfort. Tuscaloosa Mazda, 3100 Skyland Boulevard.
Mike, Arthur, Dwight, Kenji, what's going on? How's everybody doing? Number 6 in recruiting. I'm shocked we're still only at 6, man, with as many top-rated guys as we've gotten. I know it's a numbers thing. Those others, I think, who was it? Number 1 had almost 30 commits or something like that. But I wish they would do it off of quality. I wish they would not put so much emphasis on quantity. But I mean, again, it's neither here nor there. It doesn't really matter. But whether we finish 6th, 2nd, 1st, whatever, I mean, I'm all about just getting good players, man, that fit what you're trying to do, and it looks like we're doing just that. So can't be mad at that. Good morning / afternoon, Kenji. What's going on? Where should we start first? Should we start with Ty first? Castellano? We can start with Castellano and get that out the way. We'll knock that out. Matter of fact, let me get it pulled up. See, now I'm starting to think this is just Efron, what's up, man? Roll Tide. Can we get that high with the number of players we have? That's the thing. I mean, we have the most 5-star recruits. I mean, and we have a large number of 4-stars as well. So, I mean, I really think, Arthur, it's really just based off of right now. I mean, the number of recruits. I'll just pull it up real quick. But to answer your question, I'm not too sure. I'll be honest, man. I'm not the best when it comes to how they come up with all that stuff. Here, I'll share this. You look at USC, they've got 31 total commits. They do have 2 5-stars, 19 4-stars, 10 3-stars, but they have 31 commits. We have 20. But their score is what, I guess puts them at 1. Michael, what's up, man? Roll Tide. But see, that's the thing. I mean, the average rating for them is 90.72. Ours would be 91.34. Excuse me.
Tide 100.
So clearly, I mean, we have on average a higher rated player. And welcome back into Miller's Edge Top 100.9, 1230 WTBC, presented by the Good Feet Store, America's Arch Support Experts. All right. Again, we are live on YouTube. If you guys want to watch me do the show, watch everything that we throw up on the screen, man. Definitely encourage you guys to do that. Check us out. It's always fun. You can join in the chat. Have a lot of good discussions there. I get to talk with you guys during the break and all that good stuff. Again, at the Miller's Edge on YouTube is where you can find it, and on our Facebook page at Tide 100.9. All right. Let's dive into what we've got so far, right? Tommy Castellanos, we'll start here because I don't even want to give this way too much attention, but we got to talk about it because he's got us in his mouth again. Granted, they asked him about his comments. It's not like he just brought us up. But again, a few weeks ago, we talked about this, but Florida State quarterback Tommy Castellanos, again, transferred from Boston College, had a lot to say regarding the whole matchup with Alabama coming up. Definitely was very confident when he was speaking. You know, remember the big quote was, "They don't have Nick Saban to save them. I just don't see them stopping me." So, I mean, some very, cocky comments from him and some shots that he took, really at a number of people, right? I mean, he basically said, "Hey, Coach Saban's gone. They ain't stopping me." So that's the same guy. So now he's at SEC Media Day. Obviously, when you take the podium at Media Day, you've got media people out the wazoo, and half of them are looking for titles and clicks. So this is going to be brought back up. So it was brought back up. And instead of taking the route where I wouldn't call it, him copping out, but maybe taking the more mature route and saying, you know what, man, maybe I kind of got ahead of myself. I shouldn't have. Not like, and I'm look, you can take that approach, and it's not saying he's weak or scared of what he said, which I think that's why he had this answer. But to me, it just shows, all right, man, I had a little too much dip on my chip, and let me be a little more mature. He had a chance to clean it up. Well, this is what he ended up saying regarding that when he had the chance to really, I guess, clarify his original comments. This is what Tommy Castellanos, Florida State quarterback, had to say when asked about his initial comments regarding Alabama not having Nick Saban.
You would have done said some things differently?
Most definitely, but I stand on what I said. Well, we stand on what I said. So I said what I said. We stand on that, and I don't mean no disrespect to none of those guys at Alabama or anything like that. It's just I have confidence in my guys and the work that we've been putting in and preparing and the preparation we've been putting together. So that's all that was. I just no disrespect to those guys, but we stand on what I said.
All right, so I mean, fair enough. I mean, he did say no disrespect, right? But I don't know how you make that comment, Chase. Like, oh, they don't have Nick Saban to save them. I don't know how they're going to stop me. I don't know how you say that in a respectful manner. Like, I feel like that is what it is. But I mean, look, I respect that he's standing on it. He's throwing his teammates in there. We're standing on it, even though I'm sure they're probably like, bro, keep us out of that business. But I mean, he's confident in himself. Look, if he worded it more so, like if he didn't make the whole, oh, Saban's not there to save them, that's where it really got like disrespect. I mean, like, athletes are going to have egos and be confident. Like if it was more of a quote or a situation where he goes, I don't know, he says something like, man, I don't just leave the Nick Saban part out of it. I guess if he just says something like, we've been working, we've been improving, we got a lot of, this, that, and the third, I don't see how they plan on stopping us or whatever. All right, he's confident in himself, his guys, whatever. But the whole Nick Saban thing, I think to me is kind of what really sealed the deal. But I think, to be honest with you, Chase, I feel like he's kind of, I wouldn't say like putting on a front, but I feel like right now, because he's like back and forth. We heard what he said initially. We watched the video like last week or whenever it was when he was training with Cam Ward and some of those other guys, and Isaiah Horton happened to be there. Didn't even know who he was. And he was kind of backpedaling. If you ask me, Chase, I think the reason we got this answer today or whatever this was, I feel like it's because he felt after that last video, people were kind of clowning him like, oh, he's walking back. Oh, he's scared, blah, 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 when he had to actually sit there and say it in front of Horton. Because his energy was different there. There was like, oh, well, bro, I was trying to encourage my teammates. Them boys went 2-10. The only thing that I'm hearing, I'm not hearing all this other crap. The only thing that I'm hearing, guys, is he's a very selfish individual, man. And I'm not trying to like take a shot at him personally. I'm just saying, as a player, he comes off very selfish because everything is like he goes, "Oh, them boys went 2-11," as if like he's like coming from some program where he led them to a playoff appearance and did all this. I mean, again, with all due respect, this guy was benched at Boston College, man. And I'm not trying to sound like a hater or like pick on the dude. I'm just saying, like the way he talks, like number one, I've never been into all the extra talk. Like I've always been more of a advocate for, man, shut the hell up and do what you got to do on the field. That goes for me, my teammates, anybody. I'm not with all that. But if you're going to do it, like you got to at least be that dude, man. And respectfully, he just hadn't really done anything to be that dude. So I don't know, Chase. I mean, it's just kind of like, I don't know. It didn't the whole, everything is just like I with him. Now he's trying to say, oh, we stand on that because he knows he needs to sound a little bit more, or involve the team a little bit more. I don't know. Chase, I mean, like at the new updates with his stance. I mean, he did say no disrespect, right? Is that good enough when he says that for you, Chase? Or you still feel like, I mean, like the whole we stand on what I said. I mean, you still feel like he's just doing too much.
If I'm his teammate, I don't see him as a leader. There's no way you're putting your team in this position, especially with the season they had last year, Christian. There's no way. Strip his media rights away. Lock down his social media accounts. Get straight to football. Because now the more he comments on what he said originally, it's gonna be brought up like a text thread when if because we don't know the result, but if they lose to Alabama, this is not gonna be good. And the eyes that are gonna be set on him, Christian, throughout this season, you would have thought he was an MVP last year. He brought his team from dirt to glory. Just play. What is wrong with just staying silent? I don't know why athletes have to prove themselves with a mic. Just let your skills do the talking. You don't need to stick up with, I'll do this, I'll do that. How about what you'll see on the field is what you'll see. Yeah. And I'm going to back that up. And that's it. It doesn't have to be some, I didn't mean disrespect in the video we saw last week and then previously. Just let your skills and what you bring to the table to talking, and then that's it. But now, yeah, he better put on a spectacular virtuoso performance, or it's going to be a long day down in Tallahassee.
Oh, 100%. And I mean, we're talking about starting the season, right? So, like, if he goes out there and gets embarrassed after doing all that talking, I mean, like, he's just going to get ridiculed and humiliated, in my opinion. Just moving forward, that's not the best. That's not the way you want to start your season. Doing all this talking, then say you get embarrassed like that, man. If I'm his teammate and he goes out there and he's trash week one, I'm not gonna lie. After he's been doing all this talking, I'm gonna be like, bro. And we might who's the backup? Let's look at a different direction because I'm like, I don't even know if I'm gonna want to ride with this dude after you did all this talking for us, like on our behalf, and then you go out there and lay an egg and don't do anything. I don't know. I'm going to be ready for week one because I'm like, the way this dude talks, I mean, I'll say this. You mentioned the mic work, Chase. Hell, maybe he's a wrestling fan like us. I mean, this guy's cutting promo week after week. He is getting me, excited. I'm anticipating the matchup, right? So maybe if football doesn't work out for him, maybe he needs to go try the WWE, maybe some UFC. I don't know. Yeah, he could cut a promo. I mean, he's cutting promos left and right, man. I mean, I feel like I'm looking at the next WWE superstar. They got the LFG program. Or the what is it called? Next, what is it? No, NIL, WWE NIL, next in line, right? They need to sign him. He obviously is confident and can cut a promo. In terms of his coach, obviously, I'm sure people are kind of curious what he believes. I guess are his thoughts on how his quarterback's going around and talking such a big game. Well, here's Mike Norvell on his quarterback. He says, "Well, I watched the work. I believe in Tommy. I believe in our football team. Anybody can get on a microphone and say whatever they want to say. And Tommy is a very respectful young man that's put in the work, has had his own journey and experiences. I know his heart when it comes to it. So I'm grateful for who he is and what he's all about. And that's what I told him after the comments. That's what Norvell said during ACC Media Day. And then goes on to say, we're not here to try to speak ourselves into a victory. We're trying to go and earn a victory. And you better show up every single day and let's go be what we're capable of being. And if we'll do that, the rest will take care of itself. But it's kind of what I said in the press conference earlier. I don't want a football team full of a bunch of sidekicks to see who's going to step up. I want guys that are willing to step up and go be it. And when you're willing to do that and you're willing to uphold it with actions rather than just the words, then you have a chance to do something special. And Tommy has put in the work from the very first day he got here. It's been a great journey, and I love his investment into his teammates and his belief in what they can do and what we can be. I mean, how cute, man. You know what I mean? Like, that's so sweet of his coach just to talk about, man, I love his fighting spirit. And what has Florida State got going, man? And something just is off. Like, all due respect. I mean, they went from when Jordan Travis was there. I mean, again, they're in the Cupcake Conference, but pretty much ran the table in the ACC. Had a good year. Again, I get the conference, don't get me wrong, but still, I mean, they looked to be a really good team that year. And then, I mean, we're to the point, or they're to the point, I should say. They lose 10 games last year. And it's like they're calling on this guy. I call him Mighty Mouse because he's not a big guy, to be their savior. And he's like I get it, the quarterback is going to be the spokesperson. But still, I mean, like, I don't know, Chase. If I'm on that Florida State football team, to me, like, he just, I feel like when a guy comes in like that, like, if you don't have the receipts, man, like, bro, respectfully, like, pipe down a little bit. That's how I would feel if I was at Florida State. I'm curious. I know Mike Norvell loves the confidence and loves that Mighty Mouse is hyping the team up, but it's like, what does the rest of the team feel like? I mean, maybe they rock with him. Maybe they really respect him. I mean, look, the way Mike was talking about him, I mean, he's putting the work in. I mean, seems like he's pretty confident and pleased with what he's seen out of the young man, which is great. It's got me really curious. Like, I mean, what they obviously feel pretty confident in what they're doing. But like he said, though, I mean, they're not trying to win a Mike battle. It's about earning a victory. But I really feel like they're about to earn an ass whooping as much talking as they're doing, if I'm being completely honest with you. They're just talking too much, man. And I feel like it's the same old story. At least like when I was playing, anytime we faced a team and they were doing all this, it never turned out well. Like, ever. I don't think it ever turned out well. Not even close. If anything, it was always the opposite. Anytime we played somebody and they talked to this capacity, they always went out there and just got their ass whooped, if I'm being honest with you. Hopefully this team has that same energy, which, I mean, we heard from our guys, right? They talked about it at Media Day, and they said, what was like their cryptic message that they all shared? What was it? All disrespect will be addressed accordingly. Like, just the way this is kind of funny, but it is funny. All disrespect will be addressed accordingly. It's like very, like, I don't know, like boss, like, right? Like they're like the head of some let me be careful with my words here, but you guys get what I'm saying. Anyway, I guess we'll find out, man, and find out really soon. Chase, we're what, 5 weeks away? 5 weeks away. Yeah, man, it's flying by. I'll say this. As much as I want us to really just go beat up on them just to shut them up, I do hope it is at least entertaining. Like I hope this dude has something to him. Like, I hope, and I think he will. I mean, he's got some juice. He can run around a little bit, make some plays. Like, I know he will. But I hope it's enough to be like, you know what, man? Good job, man. Like, you at least gave a good effort, Like, I still want us to beat up on him, but for as much as I'm really going to be disappointed because, again, he's cutting a great promo right now, Chase. And he gets out there and he's just a jobber, like we talk about in wrestling, which technically he is. I mean, he's coming from Boston College and lost a job there, respectfully. I might be a little disappointed, but anyway, so there's your update, guys, on Tommy Castellanos. We stand on everything I said. That's what he had to say at ACC Media Days. And this, folks, is why it's so important to have people, in the building that help, you know what I mean, in terms of manage and teach proper media skills. Stay out of all this. This is exactly why I'm always happy that we have people that train our guys and make sure they don't go out there and just stir the pot, make an ass of themselves. Because I'm telling you guys right now, August 30th comes and we whoop on them bad. they're going to look like a joke. So anyway, all right. Let's hit this next timeout. We come back. We keep on rolling. We got folks lined up on the phone lines, 205-342-9904. Speaking of quarterbacks, we heard from Florida State's quarterback. Why don't we hear from our quarterback? Ty Simpson did a quick little video with quarterback reps. Talked a little bit about this upcoming season, what he's been working on, things that he's got in the works, what Tide fans can expect out of Ty Simpson playing quarterback at the University of Alabama. We'll dive into that. Plus, another quarterback. We're just hearing from a bunch of quarterbacks. Greg McElroy shared his thoughts on Alabama football in 2025, what they need to do, and if he feels that they're a national contender. We'll hear all that coming up after this quick timeout right here on the Miller's Edge. Tide 100.9, 1230 WTBC, presented by the Good Feet Store. We'll be right back.
This is Brian Finneson, owner of the venue Tuscaloosa across from Sokol Park. First, I want to thank all of our...
That nervous laugh said a lot when he said I/we. However, there's nothing wrong with confidence. No, there's definitely not. Like, I mean, honestly, like, I'm not like, oh man, like mad at the dude. I just think it's silly because I'm like, bro, you just don't really have the receipts to be taught. Like, again, if he take away the Nick Saban isn't there to save them, take that away, and I'm not too mad at it. If the comment was just, I just don't see them stopping me, I'm still going to give him a sideways look, kind of like, really, bro? But at least it's not like saying something crazy. Like, that's like, all right, this dude's confident in himself. Who's not? What football player do we know that's not confident that they're going to go beat the dude in front of him, right? I mean, like, that's everybody. So it was that comment, he's not there to, come on, guy. So to me, I feel like he today was just basically like, look, man, he's at the point of no return, right? He's like, well, I already made those comments, or I can't. If he does back up on the comments, he's going to look soft. So I feel like that's why he took that approach, honestly. But good luck to the young man. Good luck to him. Let me see. I know we got Ty coming up. Let's hit a phone call first, though. Like, there's another news thing that I have. Let me go back to this. He was click seeking. Probably so, man. Hell in a cell for him in Tallahassee. I'm telling you, I mean, he's cutting some good promos, though. I mean, I don't know who else, look, me and Chase love wrestling over here, but that's what I feel like I'm witnessing. I feel like these are like promos being cut. I mean, and this building up the anticipation for the matchup. Obviously, we already excited, but I'm like, man, the more he keeps talking, I'm like, bro, I think it's going to make for a good one. And look, it's going to have our guys juiced up. That's a fact. Everybody's going to be juiced up because it's game one, but like, speaking off experience, when you have a quarterback talking like that and you're a defensive guy, it really just hypes you up, man. Because, I mean, like, quarterbacks are always the target anyways, right? I'm not saying bounties like my dad talks about, but you guys know what I'm saying. Like, you always want to prove a point to the quarterback. You always are trying to get in his head. You always are trying to make that dude uncomfortable. And to me, I'm like, bro, he's just putting a bigger target on his back. Like, if I was on this team, oh, bro. Nah, it'd be raps, bro. We'd be like, we would be having to fight to see who's going to take him out first. No disrespect, but Florida State doesn't have Jordan Travis to bail him out.
This is Miller's Edge on Tide 100.9.
And welcome back into the Miller's Edge, Tide 100.9, 1230 WTBC, presented by the Good Feet Store, America's arch support experts. Look, we just heard from Tommy Castellanos again, right? I feel like we hear from this guy every week regarding his comments. So now I guess third time's a charm, right? And here we go. He tripled down on his comments. In summary, we stand on what I said. Now he's putting his teammates in there. I don't know if he's like, hey, you guys back me up, right? Yeah, we stand on that. Or if he's just trying to be a team guy all of a sudden, which, I mean, everything he said sounds just so much about, they can't stop me. Good luck. That being said, Carson says, do we remember what happened to the last guy talking? DeMarcus Riddick was humbled in the Iron Bowl. Was that linebacker that was talking all that noise about he's like faster than Milroe or something like that? And then there was like a clip of him like looked like he got pants while he was running because Milroe really just left him in the dust and he literally just fell on his face. That's what I'm telling you guys. It's I don't know if it's karma. I don't know what it is, man, but it just don't really work out well when these teams talk like this. But I don't know why they don't learn. I mean, the greatest example is the Vanderbilt guy, the lineman. I mean, like the God, I gotta be careful with my words, man. But he had a lot of you know what? I'm not gonna go there. Y'all know who I'm talking about. Anyway, all right. That being said, Tommy says Alabama will make Florida State quit. I hope so, man. I mean, we need to make everybody quit because that literally is that's the biggest. To me, I think that's the thing I want to see the most from this year is how we finish games, right? How we play on the road, how we finish games, how we really dig deep, dive into the deep end when it matters most, and play with consistency, play with effort, play with toughness, all those principles that we always talked about and covered. I really want to see us get back to that, man. I mean, if we do that, I mean, I'm telling you, we're going to be in good shape. Look, so look who we have here. We got a little guest that just hopped in the background. Pastor Payne's joining us, man. I was wondering if he was going to jump on yesterday because we were talking a lot about NFL talk, and I know he probably has some thoughts on that whole quarterback debate. But he's joining us today. So without further ado, I don't know if he's ready or not, but welcome in. What's up, man?
What's up? What's happening? I don't know if y'all can hear me. I'm at Starbucks.
Of course you are. I was going to ask. I was like, either airport, Starbucks. There you go. So we got the Pastor Payne joining us. Did you happen to? I don't want to circle back too much. I know we obviously talked about it a lot. JR told us that. He said, we got dominated by that conversation. Look, this is my thing, man. I try to venture out and talk a little bit more than just only Alabama. And I this is exactly why I prefaced by saying that. Of course, we got somebody go, the conversation got down. I'm like, I try to bring it out the NFL, and we were talking about Jalen, who was a former Alabama quarterback, and still these people find a way to be like, the conversation got down. Anyway, did you hear that conversation? Did you hear what we were talking about yesterday?
I did not. I caught about a couple minutes, but I was running around. But I heard you talking NFL and the start of training camp or that type of thing. I didn't hear you talking about Jalen per se, but
it was Jalen Hurts. Basically, what it was Cam Newton had a comment where he went on his show and said he doesn't feel that Jalen Hurts is a top 10 NFL quarterback, and we discussed that because Ryan Clark had a response, dropping bombs left and right. I mean, he was hitting Cam from all different angles, and basically said, "Look, man, I mean, you're talking about a guy that's been to 2 Super Bowls, been to X amount of Pro Bowls in this amount of time compared to X amount of time, and yes, he won that 1 Super Bowl last year and was the MVP. We know that, but don't forget, he even outplayed Pat Mahomes, who's arguably the best quarterback in the other Super Bowl that he played in. So he's like, for you not to have him as a top 10 quarterback is pretty much disrespect. So that's what we talked about yesterday. And look, I said this, to be fair, like if you don't necessarily have him in your top 5, and I know how Cam looks at things. Cam looks at it from strictly a quarterback perspective. Like what do you bring to the table as a quarterback? How do you perform as a quarterback? And basically Cam said it's hard for him to judge that knowing the weapons that Jalen has, the system that he plays in with the offensive line, just how, running back who's a 2,000-yard rusher. Like, I understand what he's getting at. But my thing was, I'm like, top 5, I get it. You got Lamar, you got Josh Allen, you got Burrow, you got Patrick Mahomes. Hell, you got young guys like Jaden Daniels and C.J. Stroud. If we're talking about specifically from a quarterback perspective, like what those guys are as quarterbacks, there's a lot of competition. But top 10 to me was outrageous. I don't want to dive too deep in this because we talked about it yesterday, but I just wanted to at least get your thoughts. I mean, you played a decade in the league. Where do you see Jalen Hurts as an NFL quarterback and how he stacks up with the rest of them?
I mean, you got to look at the body of work. I mean, what has Jalen done since his, getting into the National Football League, right? A guy that nobody had any hope for. Nobody thought that he would, be anything but a running quarterback, and he's proven to people that he's more than that, right? So I think that he's definitely a top 5 quarterback when you look at the last 4 years, what he's done, 3 years, 2 Super Bowls, won a Super Bowl. I mean, went head to head with Patrick Mahomes, should have probably won that one, but they had that one turnover, one fumble that cost him the game. So I'm cool with Jalen. I think Jalen is a phenomenal football player. Work ethic is everything, and I think he's got a bright and beautiful future. They use his talents, his ability, and I thought they've done a great job of surrounding him with the right players, the running game, the receivers. Devontae's there. I mean, so the offensive line, they're one of the best in the National Football League. So, yeah, I think that's a dumb comment by Cam Newton. But again, we live in a day of clicks. We live in a day of how can I stir something up and get people talking and get all the higher, rated podcast people to talk. And then that means I'm going to get more eyes on me. But Cam knows better than that. And Jalen is really just superseded what he has done, right? I mean, he went to a Super Bowl, but Cam lost. Jalen has already won a Super Bowl. And when you think about quarterback, Dan Marino didn't win a Super Bowl. I mean, come on. Warren Moon didn't win a Super Bowl, but Jalen has already won a Super Bowl, and he's very young in his career. So I don't know how anybody could say that.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I just think, like I mentioned before, I think Cam is trying to take, like you mentioned, body of work, and obviously referencing, Super Bowl being a part of that. Cam is trying to take that piece out, trying to take, not necessarily take it out, but he's trying to, lower how much he's really leaning into that, as well as, the whole talk about the weapons and whatnot. I think he's saying from purely who they are as quarterbacks, right? Like how they play the quarterback position. I think that's how he's trying to look at it. Because to me, when he made the whole debate about what was it, the game manager versus playmaker, that was his whole thing too. He wasn't saying there's nothing wrong with being a game manager, but there truly is a difference between Lamar Jackson, who is a game changer, where he can single-handedly take over games with his play alone, versus if you look at Brock Purdy, who he used in that example, you don't necessarily look at Brock as like he's changing it like, all right, he's just going to use his talent ability by himself, or not necessarily by himself, but you know what I mean, and really just take over. So that's what I think he's kind of leaning into a little bit of that too with it, but nonetheless, I don't agree with him. He's wrong.
Yeah, it's just a dumb comment. I mean, it's a dumb comment. Like who would say that? But Cam Newton. I mean, come on. That's called haterade. I mean, he's hating on Jalen and his success, and that's why these types of comments. I mean, who's in front of him? I mean, you can't put Brock Purdy in front of him. You can't even put
for top 10. That's what I asked too. I said we looked at the top like quarterbacks, or at least we're looking at quarterback ratings and stuff like that. And I wasn't using that only for that, but just to kind of get an idea. But to me, I'm like the 4 I named, I feel like are the obvious. I mean, Pat, Josh Allen, Lamar, those top 3. I mean, I feel like you got to have them in the top 5 somewhere, right? So then you go from there. You got Joe Burrow, you got C.J. Stroud, you got Jaden Daniels, who's playing some really good football, Jared Goff, Matt Stafford's getting old, but still, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like
I mean, the only 2 guys you can, if you're just strictly talking about skill set, I mean, Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes 1 and 2, Lamar Jackson 3, Jalen is right there in that 4 or 5 range to me. Joe Burrow, that'll be my top 5. Okay.
What about but compare Jalen to C.J. Stroud?
I can't. I mean, C.J. Stroud has potential, but C.J. Stroud
has a lot of upside.
It's not in the conversation. Yeah, he has upside, but Jalen has been to 2 Super Bowls. I mean,
yeah, but I'm saying take away like the Super Bowl. I'm saying like strictly as quarterbacks. I'm not gonna lie to you, man. Like C.J. Stroud, man, he strikes me as being one of them dudes, man.
C.J. Stroud has more passing strength than Jalen, right?
I agree.
But so you got to talk about the intangibles. You got to talk about I'm just talking about playing the position and what they have done. I'm not talking about if I put them in a skills test, and throwing hit dummies and all that kind of. I'm talking about playing the position, winning, leadership, intangible skills. when you group all of that together, Hurts is a top 5 quarterback. Now, does he look as your prototypical? No. And, you know, the tush push and everything that they do, but where he's at, the team that he's on, is pretty daggum special. And so that's why I've said, you know, Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Joe Burrow, Jalen Hurts, those would be my 5 dudes. Then on the outside, Stafford's old. I like Jared Goff. I think some could argue he could be in that top 5 because he's played pretty exceptional football. He's in that conversation somewhere. But, you know, Brock Purdy, top 10, top 12 type guy, but he hasn't won big games like Jalen Hurts.
You got Tua. Tua, I would say Tua's in that top 10 category.
Conversation for me. He's not even in the top 20 for me.
You don't have Tua in the top 20?
No.
I would say Tua's in conversation for being a top 10 guy.
No. He's inconsistent.
If he's
injuries,
healthy, I mean, injuries sure.
But he hasn't been. So I mean, I'm just saying what people have done. What receipts do they have? And right now, Jalen Hurts, you know, and if you talk about Super Bowl, Josh Allen don't have one. Lamar Jackson don't have one.
True.
But I mean, only guy that had it. I mean, who has one? Patrick Mahomes.
You got Pat and Jalen and
right. That's what I'm saying. So, you know, null and void to me with that argument. Null and void.
Fair enough. I just want to get your thoughts on that again. I don't want to drop too far back into that. But look, we had a lot of people. We talked about it for a while because everybody was talking about it. It was a really good conversation that we had. And I just want to get your thoughts. And I know you watch a lot of NFL and you keep up with all that. And it just, you know, Cam and Ryan were trading shots back and forth. So it kind of got a little heated. So I definitely wanted to bring it up on the show. Plus, again, it you know, Jalen's a former player here. I try to bring Alabama into it because folks want to talk Alabama one way or another.
Yeah, you can't sit there and talk about it. But that's where we are now. It's talking season. We're getting close. The countdown is on. You know, fans want to talk about Alabama. You know, I was sitting here and doing my you know, Sunday prep and all that. And guy stopped in. I got my headsets on. And I know you should be one of my listeners here at my show in town, and big Clemson fan. And he thinks Clemson's going to be loaded. And,
a lot of people do though. A lot of people think they have one of the best rosters in the country though, to be fair.
Well, he was saying like this is the last year because they lose everybody. But, you know, they're looking at, you know, LSU, you know, loss of most of their offensive line. You know, but Alabama's going to be better and pretty good. They don't feel that. But a lot of people not buying the Alabama love in these parts. You know, South Carolina's getting a lot of love, but again, a lot of uncertainty there. So I think this is where college football is. I think there's so many question marks. You can go through every roster and pull out question marks and say why this team may or may not be as good. And then you don't know how the new recruits, freshmen, are going to step in and play. You don't know how the guys going out there in the so-called college free agency, in the transfer portal, you know, what they're going to be like. You know, you may not land a Kennard like South Carolina did from Georgia Tech last year. Got him here, and he ended up winning Defensive Player of the Year, I believe, and was a sack master. So, he was asking me, and I'm like, listen, man, I'm not going out there and just saying I think so-and-so going to be this, that, and the third. I have no clue. Just like everybody else. Now, I can give you a guesstimation and an educated guesstimation just based on who was lost, who's coming, what they have coming back, the strength of schedule, and you can kind of give you some type of idea. But nobody knows. Nobody knows what these teams are going to look like. You know, you just don't know.
That's true. We're going to find out soon. You got a lot of football coming our way. And just a few short weeks, man. We're almost there. But let's hit this first. Not first. Let's hit this next time out real quick. When we come back, we got a number of folks lined up on the phone lines. So we're going to go to the phone lines, 205-342-9904. Talk with you guys after a quick timeout right here on the Miller's Edge. Todd 100.9, 1230, WTBC. Trust me, I know, Dwight. I mean, look, I get it. We're on Tide. And I love talking Alabama, but my thing is this. Number one, other shows talk other stuff. I mean, other shows talk shoot, golf, NASCAR, I mean, baseball. You can talk other sports. My thing is this, man. I just don't want to always have us in a box. Like, trust me, we're going to Alabama, especially Alabama football, is going to dominate the conversation, like without a doubt. Like that's what I focus on. But I think it's refreshing. I think it's refreshing, and I think it's actually beneficial to sometimes switch it up. And that's why I even mentioned like that conversation. I thought was a great way to be able to have healthy balance because Jalen's a former Alabama quarterback. You know what I mean? Honestly, to me, it is kind of rosy because I literally said that before we had. I was like, man, I know people they really want to dive into Alabama, so I'm like, I don't want to stray too far. And then we get what's his name call, and he's like, oh, well, that kind of dominated the conversation. And I'm like, bro, number one, the question dude asked yesterday, literally, we already talked about and answered. So I don't know what the whole thing was. Oh, well, we were dominated by, like, bro, come on, man. I don't know, bro. I don't like when people kind of come off like spoiled like that, bro. Like, we changed the topic for one little second, bro. Like, y'all will be fine, man. Not y'all. I'm talking about him specifically. Not you guys. That's the funny thing. That's what I was explaining. The chat everybody was in on the conversation. It was a great conversation. Everybody was chiming in. We had a bunch of people calling, leaving comments. But because of one guy was like, oh, it's not Alabama. Like, come on, bro. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, you got to expand a little bit, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, here's my thing. I know we're on time, but like, bro, like, I mean, my dad played a decade in the league. I played in the NFL. Like, we can cover more than just Alabama football. And I don't want to just put us in a box. Like, bro, the way I want to kind of do things, bro, is when you see these other, thing about like former guys that have stuff, they don't just cover one specific thing. Like, they don't ever do that. You know what I mean? Like, so that's what I don't want to do. I don't want to, and plus, I don't want it to get repetitive because think about it, there's only so much without the season going on. Once the season comes, it's definitely not. Now, I don't think we've gotten repetitive, even though we talk so much about Alabama, but still, like, there's only so many times we can talk about the keys for success this season. So many times we can talk about certain battles and expectations and you know what I mean? So you got to switch it up a little bit here and there. And to me, I'm like, NFL talk about former players is literally still somewhat Alabama. I mean, it's not like we were talking about damn. I like y'all covering other sports topics. Exactly, it's whatever's really relevant. And when you got Cam Newton making comments about a former Alabama guy, I mean, that's the perfect time to do it. And welcome back into the Miller's Edge, Tide 100.9, 1230 WTBC, presented by the Good Feet Store, America's arch support experts. All right, everybody in the chat agrees. They're all for the, venturing out a little bit here and there, switching up. Again, not trying to go completely.
Who said that? Who said that, by the way?
So basically what happened, so one of our callers, he had called in, and so we had talked about the Jalen and the Cam comments for a good bit, but again, I mean, literally the chat was active. Everybody was chiming in. We had a number of calls. It was a really good conversation. And like I said, in my head, I'm like, all right, Jalen's a former Alabama guy. This still is somewhat Alabama. This would be a great conversation, kind of, take a little bit of a little segue. But anyway, I guess he called in a little bit later and was like, man, well, yeah, finally we can talk about something else. I mean, we were dominated by that conversation. Now we can talk some Alabama. And I'm like, bro, literally, I'm like, and then the question he asked was literally something we talked about during the show. Pat called and asked her. We had a recruiting update. We had a second quarterback commit, and he literally asked about the guy, and I already gave a breakdown about the guy and talked about it. So I'm like, I don't even understand the purpose of what even. I don't know, but it is what it is, man. People are gonna be people. Anyway, everybody in the chat they agree. They like switching it up a little bit, and so Appreciate you guys. Definitely. And yes, Arthur, yeah, if you guys haven't, man, like the video. All right, let's go to the phone lines, 205-342-9904. We got Tommy. Tommy, welcome in.
Hey, how are y'all today, guys?
Doing well,
So,
Tommy. How are you?
Well, I've done something I haven't done before. I can see both of you on my phone. Kristen, looked like you were in a blue shirt. I have got on the podcast. I have joined the 21st century.
Tommy.
You were in a blue shirt.
Yeah, Tommy's on the stream, man. Welcome, 2-time Tommy's on the stream, man. Hold on, I can't believe this,
And
man.
Corey people doing that beer after Thanksgiving, I might sit in there and laugh and want something for Christmas. I mean,
What you talking about?
I mean,
I don't have no white beard no more.
I don't think he's got a beard. Looks like he's got a mustache. It's probably the light in the background's kind of got a weird.
I know he got a model cap on. It looked like he had a little white mirror.
Yeah, he does have a hat on. Look at Tommy, man. I'm proud of you, man. We got Tommy and Ellis over on YouTube,
I can see your teeth. Yeah, you have teeth in that. Yeah. All right, never mind.
Do you see me waving at you? Do you see me saying hi to Tommy from Romulus, Alabama? Roll.
Well, see, I can't wave back. See, that won't work. I mean,
you know what, Tommy? One of these days, we'll even send you an invite, and we'll let you just jump on the stream, and you can just sit up here with us.
We ain't going that far, Tommy. We ain't doing that.
Why? What's wrong with Tommy? Dude, Tommy's been a listener of the show since
Tommy
I
gonna
remember.
Break the internet. He gonna break the internet.
True. One day.
Now y'all bother me. How can you break the internet?
Okay. Yeah.
I'm running back to this little phone that drives me insane every day.
You break it because everybody loves you, and when they see your beautiful face on the line on the internet, it's gonna break everybody. So,
I gotta ask you one question, Corey.
What?
This is a very important question. Is it cloudy in South Carolina?
No.
You're going to get hit by lightning line like that.
It's very sunny.
You're going to get hit by lightning.
It looks sunny from what I can see in the background.
Well, I'm asking. I don't want him to get hit by lightning. Telling stories like that.
I hope he don't. I hope he doesn't. Finally got him back on here. I hope we don't. That'd be the worst time.
Yeah. No, like we said yesterday about the quarterback deal. I mean, he's been in the league only 5 years and played in 2 Super Bowls. Won one, lost one. And he didn't look bad in the one he lost. And Philadelphia, give him credit, they got Barkley to come a year later and that puts them over the edge for winning the Super Bowl. Philadelphia had the it factor. They had the team chemistry. In my opinion, that puts them to the Super Bowl. It was a team effort. So, I mean.
Yeah, then speaking of their team, Tommy, I mean, you got to love the philosophy that they've taken in their approach when it comes to the draft. Look, they drafted Jalen Hurts in the 2nd round when a lot of people were scratching their head wondering, why in the world would you take a quarterback? You don't need a quarterback. They saw something in Jalen, and look how that's turned out for them. They've taken the approach. It's not always about, hey, yes, you always address team needs in the NFL draft. But if there's a best player available, even at a position that you might not necessarily need as bad as another one, but you just know that guy is a game changer. He can help turn your franchise around and be an impact player. They take him, and they draft with the philosophy. Again, we've had Joe Panunzio on here on the show. He talks about it. They want guys from Georgia. They want guys from Alabama. Why? They know they're getting physical, tough football players that know the game inside and out, and they're going to be able to make an impact not only on the field but off the field by establishing and bringing over that winning, dominant, physical culture from Alabama or Georgia to the Philadelphia Eagles, and we've seen that really translate to their franchise. So, yeah, man, when you look at what they're doing, I think any GM should take after Howie and just say, look, man, we need to take that approach. And I guess Tom
Right,
Yes, Tommy ran out of minutes, man. He ran.
Oh,
well, no, it's a joke. It's a joke. No,
I think that's Chase's fault. Chase, you hang up on Tommy?
Oh, you don't do me like
he
that.
wouldn't do that. No, I think this is what I think would happen though. I think Tommy was trying to figure out because remember he's on the YouTube stream first time ever. I don't even know if he's ever even heard of YouTube. Tommy was probably trying to mess around with the YouTube and accidentally hung up. But Tommy, don't worry because we had to hit this top of the hour break, so it actually works out. But do this if you want to circle back and talk a little bit more. We're always call from you 2-time, Tommy. You know that. All right. Speaking of Tommy, we got Ellis in here too, man. Look, man, we're getting everybody over, getting their technology game up. A lot of people that have probably never even been on YouTube before, they're joining over to hang out with us, so that's cool. We got to hit this top of the hour break. When we come back, we keep on rolling. 500.9, 1230, WTBC. Oh my God, I feel like my tongue is tied today. I cannot talk, man. Bear with me, guys. I cannot speak clear. It happens though. All right, we'll hear from we got Ty. We got to listen to that video. Got the Greg thing. Yeah, welcome to the chat, Ellis. Tommy too, I guess. I wonder what Tommy. See, Ellis, you got Jerry Wheeler on there, man. But I know it's Ellis. Wheeler, I recognize Wheeler. Let's see. Arthur said, until Allen and Lamar can show that they can use the talent around them and win the big one. Hurts number 2. Damn, you got Hurts too? You must be only going off the championships, bro. I love Jay Hurts, but I don't know, man. Those two are studs, bro. They might not have the big ones, but they do have NFL MVPs, which I feel like Jalen definitely was in that conversation a couple years ago. Josh Allen, he's a dog. So is Lamar. It's really good. I mean, AFC, bro, the quarterbacks are stacked. Stacked over there. Let's see. Wait, let me pull up that Ty video. Well, I'll probably save it till we come back. That way, radio. Here's the 2 though. What is QB reps though? You guys know? Is it like a podcast or something? That's where he did the video. I just was curious what that is. Or Bam was it? No, yeah, quarterback reps, something like that. Let's look it up. I've never heard of it. QB reps. Is it new? I don't know what this is. I have no idea what it is. QB reps. I don't know, but that's who he did the video with. So we'll play that here in a second. I mean, unless you guys want to see it now, but I'm going to have to replay it for the radio.
One for TTY access.
I'll do one more segment and I got to go eat lunch and then take my medicine.
What you said you got to go eat lunch. Are you not at lunch right now?
No, I've just been out here working on my church stuff. I bought all those factor lunches, so they already pre-made. Let's go home and warm them up. Keto, they're all keto lunches.
What is your obsession with keto?
I like getting protein. Low
you like
carbs.
What?
I like eating more protein than carbohydrates.
I feel like I heard somebody say keto could be bad. I don't know. Maybe
Yeah, I mean, fat.
And welcome back into the Miller's Edge, Tide 100.9, 1230 WTBC, presented by the Good Feet Store, America's Arch Support Experts. All right, hour number 1 in the books, hour number 2 officially underway. Let's go ahead and go back to the phone lines. So now we got a number of people lining up. 205-342-9904. Actually, you know what, Curve? We are going to do that, but let me play this video real quick, though. It's only a minute and a half long because I kept saying we're going to play this, and I just want to play it that way. You guys can respond to it, too. But it's a video of Ty Simpson. I guess with QB Reps, I'm still not sure what that is. Podcast, group, training company. I don't know what it is. Anyway, but he spoke with them and he gave his thoughts and insight on this upcoming season and some other things. So let's hear what I guess projected QB1 has to say.
You know, I think my journey's been like no other, to say the least. Came here with dreams and aspirations of going to the NFL and leaving a legacy. And I feel like I can still do that. I'm just a guy, and so, you know, I just want people to understand that, you know, they can come up to me and just be normal and just, you know, kind of enjoy. I'm going to go and have fun and, you know, enjoy just being with the guys and then, you know, just being normal.
So I'm a big-time grill guy. I love to cook, whether it's cook for myself or cook for the guys. On the grill tonight, we got some bacon-wrapped fillets and then some chicken swirls. We'll eat good with the fellas tonight and just kind of chill out and have a good time.
When I get on the field, Alabama fans should know that I'm going to do everything it takes to win. So, you know, I'm going to make sure that I'm the toughest guy on the field. I'm going to make sure that I win. I'm going to make sure that I know everything that's coming. I'm going to get, you know, the guys around me the ball. You know, one thing about our team this year is I feel like we're just so close. You know, nobody feels like they're bigger than the team, and nobody feels like that. You know, it's all about them. And if somebody doesn't do their job, then it's all on us.
So there you have it. Projected quarterback number 1, Ty Simpson, with a little hype video, a little teaser video, I guess you can call it, but said he's going to be a tough guy, going to, you know, get those wins. He's going to, however he worded it, man, I'm not going to lie. I forgot already what he is. All I know is he pretty much said, man, he's going to be a tough football player. He's going to do everything he can to win football games. And, yeah.
That's your typical stuff. What you expect them to say, right? Just, I don't know what's going to go on. I don't know how good I can be, or blah blah. You know, you're gonna take the positive approach, and I'm going to be a leader. We'll go out there and try to make plays and lead my team to victory. So typical response. But again, you got to go out there and make things happen. Period.
You do. You know, and we're going to get to this here in a second, but Greg McElroy was talking about his thoughts coming up, you know, for Alabama this season, and he had an interesting outlook on the quarterback battle. I mean, in my opinion, it's a battle, but I mean, it's clearly Ty's job to lose, and they've already said that. If they played today, he would be the guy. But Greg, the way he worded it was like he felt that the longer the battle goes on, the more of a window it opens for a guy like Keelan Russell to see the field. And I don't know. I mean, I just genuinely just think it's pretty evident that Ty is going to be the guy this year. I don't know why Greg would really view it like that. I mean, personally, I don't see that really being the case, but I don't know. Who knows? Let's see what you guys thought about that. 205-342-9904. We got Mike up next. Mike, welcome in. Mike, you still there? Going once, twice. Maybe he dropped. Mike, if you want to circle back, man, you already know what to do. 205-342-9904. We got JR up next. JR, welcome in.
Hey, Christian, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
Good to hear you talking college football again, Alabama.
See, there we go. Let me ask you a question, Mike. So you've never watched a single NFL game?
This is JR.
JR, let me ask you a question. Have you ever watched a single NFL game?
Oh yeah. I mean,
do you keep up? Do you keep up with former Alabama players?
That's about the only thing I really have an interest in when it comes to the pro game. I'll watch them
Absolutely.
if they got Alabama players on there. And sometimes, otherwise, but I don't really have a whole lot of interest in it. I couldn't even tell you who won the Super Bowl last.
Well, it was a former Alabama quarterback, and that's why we were talking about him, along with a former Alabama receiver. A former Alabama receiver that won a Heisman, a former Alabama offensive lineman, several of them.
Okay. All right. But I just didn't remember. And like I said, I wasn't watching a whole lot of them. And so you're saying Jalen Hurts was playing in the Super Bowl again last year?
He did. Did you not know that?
well, not aware. Apparently not. I didn't watch that.
Yeah,
Jalen Hurts won the Super Bowl.
He won the Super Bowl and was named
and he was
Super Bowl
MVP.
So that's why it's prevalent. I'll just tell you this, man. Look, I love that you're a big Alabama fan. You want to talk Bama as much as possible, but hear me out, man. If we talk Alabama football, which we do every single day, right? And say we talk about Alabama football for 100 shows, and we take not just one show because it wasn't the whole show, and we talk Alabama football for one segment. Right? There's normally 4 segments in an hour. We have 2 hours. That's 8. So we take one segment, which it probably took up 2, right? That would be 25% of yesterday's show. So 25% of one show out of 100. That's less than 1% of the time we're talking about something that's not Alabama football. With all due respect,
I have no beef with that. I mean,
I think that is totally fine. And not only that, we're going to do that because we look, you got other shows that talk golf, NASCAR. We still were talking football, and not just that, we were talking about a former Alabama player. So I think it's just, let's just consider those things, man.
Well, I do, and I don't have a problem. You talk, it's your show. You talk whatever you want to, but just as far as I am going to listen, I may not listen to it if it's going to be a lot about pros.
And that's totally fine, brother. If there's ever a time, if you just can't hear something other than Alabama football, with all due respect, man, you don't have to listen. You don't have to listen.
I understand that.
Y'all are going way too far.
And you can miss out on all the other great content that we have that we talk about because of something silly like that, man. Come on, man.
Bro.
I'm just saying you got to pick and choose your battles, man. No, I just had to say that because look, I said before we even talked about that segment, I already know how it goes. Everybody wants to talk Alabama football, and I go out my way to pretty much only talk about 4 people. The one time we don't, and I still try to loop it back to Bama. We have somebody that calls and is complaining.
Listen, it's here's what you got as Papa Miller over here with the Sports Talk Radio. Fans, that you are in Alabama, you're in Tuscaloosa. That's what 98.5% of people don't want to hear. 99.5% probably. But that's cool. I'd like your caller. Was it JR? That's his name, JR? And that's cool. I mean, he wants to hear Alabama. That's what fine. But that's why guys go and come on Sports Talk Radio. It's like nobody listens normally straight through shows. They come in periods, this and that. And that's why if there's something you're talking baseball, man, I don't care. I do the same thing. If they talking about something I ain't interested in, I just go somewhere else for a minute and come back because I like the show. You know what I mean? So I wouldn't let that wrinkle you up too bad. I mean, he just saying, but like you said, this is your show, so you can do what you want to do. But I wouldn't let a point with somebody 0.1 somebody says about that.
No, I'm not. Just like I said, I think the biggest thing
is what you're doing. You ain't got to say it. That's okay. Just you putting too much time in it. Just okay. Appreciate you. And we're going to talk about what he wants to talk about, and then keep going. That's all. That's just godly and wisdom that somebody. I wouldn't get too much into that. JR still on that chase.
Just say again what?
Yeah, he's still. Let's talk some Bama because I'm on here. I wasn't on here yesterday, JR. So let's talk about Bama. What you got?
Well, I was wanting to hear about Florida State's quarterback. You mentioned him a minute in the earlier segment, but I just want to know how he's rated and how he match up against apparently Ty Simpson.
Well, let me just take it. They talked about some, I think, yesterday too. But let me just say,
we talked about it.
What's his name? Castellanos.
Castellanos.
This guy has transferred about three. He done transferred 3 or 4 schools. First of all, that should tell you about who he is and character and everything else. Now, he had a decent year last year at Boston College. He's a small guy, undersized quarterback, runs around, improvises, make things happen. He's that type of player. But to go down to Florida State and to have all of this talk and when he's really never, ever accomplished anything is ludicrous to me. Absolutely ludicrous. So I don't think, it's good for fodder. It's good for sports talk radio. It's good for, clickbait. But the reality is he really hadn't proven himself in playing against the SEC teams. He's been in the ACC. He was at Boston College, and before that, he was somewhere else, didn't play much. So I don't really put too much stock in this kid. All he's doing is putting a dart on his back, a target on his back. I heard Christian say earlier, guys, defensive guys, they going over. Let me tell you something. I use the word bounty in the NFL, but I promise you that there are going to be dudes coming for every shot they get on him because he's a running quarterback now. He's not a statue in the pocket. He moves around. They're going to get opportunities, and I can almost assure you he got some shots coming to the ear hole. He can bank on that.
Yeah. I hope so. And as far as Ty Simpson, we don't really know a whole lot about him other than he's been here a lot, and he definitely knows the Alabama program by now. And even though it's just the second year of Kalen DeBoer coaching Alabama, but he's not as good a chance as anybody, I believe. I don't even know who his real backup is going to be. There's 2 quarterbacks in behind him. I'm not sure which one's going to be really considered the backup yet. We don't even know for sure that it's Ty Simpson as the starter.
I think he is the starter, JR.
I do too.
I think, coaches will play that game. We're not going to name a guy right now. Well, they already know. And, as Christian just alluded to, it's his job to lose, which tells you he's the starter then, right? He's the number 1 guy. The only way he's not the starter if he goes out there and just stinks up the joint and don't play well and coaches don't feel good about him, which that's not going to be the case. He's been there. He's proven that he's steady. He's got good character. He's a coach's son. Got a big arm. He surprisingly fast and elusive. He can run with the ball. He's strong. So I think when you look at what they're trying to do offensively, I think he really fits nice. And Roman said Harper a few weeks ago, he's going to surprise people. I think what his upside looks like. Now that what happens in position battles, you get a guy like Ty Simpson. He gets that confidence knowing that it's his job now. Miro's gone. He's not competing, trying to beat out an incumbent like Jalen Miro was. It's his job. And when a guy sometimes feel that freedom and know that this is his Ferrari to drive, I think they excel, and that's kind of what I expect from Ty Simpson.
Yeah. Well, if we got a minute, I'd like to ask one more thing. I want to hear your input on Alabama's running core, the running backs this year.
Well, for me, I'm totally disappointed from last year because I thought they had 2 dudes that could really go get it. Justin Haynes is gone, transfer portal, but Jam Miller, who to me is the best all around versatile back that can catch the ball at the backfield. He's very good at running the football as well. Good cutback runner. I think he has great balance and vision. And then I'm drawing a blank, Christian, with the guy that's been there. He's a high recruit that I know they're high on. So I think they got a really good running back room in Alabama. And I think that there'll be a little bit more emphasis this year of running the football with their running backs because you don't have Jalen Miro there who's kind of was a large part of their running game that they depended on a great deal. But they're not going to ask Ty Simpson to be that guy, pre-dialed running quarterback runs and quarterback counters and things like that. He's a escape type quarterback. He has great escapability, but they're not going to have a lot of design runs for him. So with that being said, I think the emphasis is going to go back to let our guys who are running backs tote the mail, so to speak. And I think it's going to be pretty good. I really do. I think if they can run the football with really great success, it's going to make things a lot easier for Todd Simpson in the passing game.
Yeah, that's going to be a must. You got to be able to do that. It's like we've been saying. I mean, you got to establish a running game. The biggest thing is, will they be able to do that consistently? I mean, we've been looking for that the past few years, and it just hadn't really been there. And it's not a matter of talent. I mean, we've had as many top running backs as you could probably ask for. And honestly, I think it was more so just not committing to it, not necessarily getting the execution up front. So I think it's going to be on the offensive line. I think it's going to be on the play callers to really consistently do that. But like you mentioned, without Jalen Milroe in the equation, you're definitely going to lean into a more traditional running game. So it's going to open up more opportunities. Jam Miller is the most experienced one. You know what you're getting out of him. Very elusive, but a very powerful guy at the same time. Can catch it out of the backfield. We saw that against what game was that? It's a little bit later in the year, but he's a weapon out of the backfield. Richard Young, a lot of people are high on, but Daniel Hill would be my pick to say, look out for him. He's a big physical guy. He's like 235, 240, but runs really well for that size. Very physically imposing guy, and I know they're really high on him. So, I mean, between the three of those guys, I think you got a very, very capable stable of running backs that are going to get more opportunities this year with more of a traditional running game. And with Ryan Grubb in the equation, I imagine they definitely are going to be running the ball a lot more consistently with him calling the plays. So, as long as that's good, man, it's going to take pressure off of Ty, and I think it's really just going to open a lot more up for the offense as a whole, and hopefully we see that come to fruition this season.
Yeah, I believe you're right that it's vitally important that we do establish the running game early on, so that Ty Simpson kind of get his foothold and make the right calls, and the running game, if it's successful, it just opens up the pass lane.
That's right. Absolutely, JR. We appreciate it, man. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Christian. And I'm sorry, I wasn't meaning to say you were doing something that you shouldn't do.
No, you're good. You're good, man.
I didn't mean that whatsoever.
No, you're good, man. Like I said, I always encourage people, man. Like, again, our job is to put on a good show for you guys. We want you guys to enjoy it, man. Last thing we want to hear is complaints, brother. So you know what I mean. That's all that is. But thank you. We appreciate it.
All right, thank you very much, Christian.
Thank you, JR.
Good talking with you, buddy.
Yes, sir. You too.
Take care, bud.
Good deal. All right, we got to hit a timeout. We come back, man. We'll keep on rolling right here. Tyler,
I got to go.
30.
I got to go.
Appreciate the Pastor Payne stopping by. Hey, I'll let you get to it.
I'll be back in a little bit, but on a more consistent basis. Now my schedule is starting to settle down. But y'all have a good rest of the show. I'm sponsored by my good friend, Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. Check him out. They call him JC. He can take care of you. See y'all later.
Nice. Quick timeout. We'll be right back.
Hey, Bama fans, this is quarterback Jalen Milroe.
Oh, man. Golly. Another day, another dollar. Another day, another dollar. I can't even. Anyway, all right, let's keep on moving. We got this Greg McElroy video we'll get to. Oh, actually, no, we got Cowboy on the phone lines. Chase, is Cowboy still there? And I think Tommy circled back too. Mike mentioned in the comments that he is having some trouble. I wasn't trying to be too tough on dude, man. I just don't understand, guys. I'm like, we talk Alabama all the time, man. But one time we talk. I mean, literally just talking about, and it's a former guy. Then he said he didn't even know Jalen won a Super Bowl last year. I don't know. I'm confused, man. I listened to the entire show for all the content on here. Yeah, look, here's the thing. That's why I told him respect. Look, man. I mean, obviously, I encourage you guys to listen to everything. I feel like we always got some good conversations going, right? But, yeah, I mean, that's the thing. I mean, if if we start talking NFL, you want to hear college stuff, you can always, drop out for a second. Again, I encourage you guys. It's always good. I think the reason I took it like that is because I'm always trying to find ways to loop it back to Alabama because I know, right? Like I wouldn't just start randomly breaking down like the Panthers, right? I mean, I played for them. I could talk about the Panthers. I'm not going to do that. I know you guys don't want to. Like, no. But I'm thinking like, even if you don't watch NFL like that, most people at least keep up with former guys. So in my head, I'm like, bro, you got something explosive. Cam Newton, my former teammate, an Auburn guy, talking about a former Alabama quarterback who's coming off of a Super Bowl. Ryan Clark going at him. You know what I mean? Like, I thought it was a great, and not just me, everybody in here was talking about it. But like my dad said, you got to let stuff go through one year out the other. I think it was just the way he started the call yesterday was just like, well, finally we're back to Alabama stuff. I'm like, whoa, bro. It's kind of disrespectful, bro. Like, relax. I'm about to start talking WWE and lifting weights. Hey, look, man, look. See, that's the thing. I love watching WWE. I'm a big WWE guy. Hell, me and Chase will love to talk wrestling, but we're not going to do that on here. You know what I mean? Like, unless y'all really, if y'all wanted us to, we would, but I'm not going to do that. I realize we have a lot of listeners that do actually watch WWE too. I feel like there's a number of people that anytime we reference WWE or we mention them, you guys always respond. Which is cool, man. Oh, that's what I wanted to show. No worries, he'll call back tomorrow asking for safety's mid show. Well, that was the other thing too. Is like, with all due respect,
James Spain.
my thing was like, if he was going to make that comment though, I'm like, bro, at least ask something different. I'm like, he asked something we literally talked about. He asked about the quarterback committee, and we talked to Pat about him. Then we went to the top of our break, and then I broke him down like briefly. Nah, man. And welcome back into Miller's Edge, Top 100.9, 1230 WTBC, presented by the Good Feet Store, America's Arch Support Experts. All right, we just got off the phone lines, and we're going to go back to the phone lines. We heard from Ty Simpson. Some good stuff there. Just kind of quick little teaser on what to expect. And look, he said, he's going to be a tough player. He's going to do everything he can to win football games, everything you want to hear from your quarterback, man. And then, of course, he mentioned the team being really, really close-knit. Very common theme, something we hear a lot from the guys. So really cool stuff there. All right, let's go back to the phone lines, 205-342-9904. We got Cowboy up next. Cowboy, welcome in.
How you doing, Christian? I held on for 42 minutes here. I was wanting to talk to your dad. I don't listen to your show that much. When I do call or try to talk to you guys, it's always hold forever, but I don't know how to follow up that JR call. Oh, Lord.
Oh no, man! All good. Well, sorry, man. I wish we knew.
I was wanting to talk to your dad. I told the call screener that I heard your dad on, wanted to talk to him. But
well, I can. If you want,
that guy before me, he just kind of took the wind out of my sails. I had a few things for your dad, but.
Well, you can, if you want to circle back, he might. I don't know if he'll be on tomorrow or not. If you want to circle back, man, that's totally fine. I wish I knew that. I would have tried to either get him to stay for a second, or if it's anything that I can relay it to him if you want. What was it about? Is it about a certain topic?
I just shoot. Everybody just wants Homer talk there in Tuscaloosa. I don't want to. I've talked some of the other shows. Every Alabama player is an All-American. I mean, you played there. I'm not trying to belittle anything, but every Alabama player is an All-American. Nobody else has players, and football starts and dies in Tuscaloosa. Which I was ask your dad. I heard him, the NFL and different stuff like that. But I don't want to get you in trouble with the listeners by talking about something that.
Man, listen, you ain't gonna get nobody in trouble, brother. I promise. We can talk about anything. And wait, you saying you only want to talk to him about stuff? Are you calling me a homer? I don't listen. I get what you're saying about a lot of other shows. I get it, man. Everybody they're going to pump as much as they can, but I feel like I keep it pretty real. I definitely try to do a little bit more.
I was going to ask your dad, what do you think went in the thought process? Of Greg Byrne hiring Kalen DeBoer over certain people with affiliations to Alabama and Nick Saban, or somebody that had played against Nick Saban in the hiring process, because I just have my doubts about this situation. And everybody, your dad was saying in other areas of the country, there's different talk of different stuff. And I kind of think deep down LSU may beat Clemson, and see what he thinks. Because I just, LSU cannot lose that football game. I mean, I know you go up there with that mentality and, maybe choke, but they got no room for error. Clemson can run the table if they lose that game. That game won't affect Clemson. The LSU, it'd kill their psyche. And I was going to ask him, being a former, him, and I mean, I appreciate your opinion, but I think your dad, and I kind of think on the same lines on some of this stuff, and
no worries. Yeah, well, I was about to say, I mean, if you want to circle back tomorrow or next time he's on, feel free to do that, man. It's no worries.
Yeah, I just happen to tune in. Now, I'm trying to put it together. You were at New England, but what happened up there?
I played with the Carolina Panthers. I didn't play in New England. I played there. I played a game there, but I did not play for them, no.
Oh, well, I know. Okay. Well, what happened at Carolina? I can't remember when it just didn't work out.
What happened in Carolina for what?
For you. Because I thought you would have still been, playing a longer period than you did.
Yeah. Well, yeah. No, that's a great question. Yeah. Well, no. So what happened was, my mom ended up getting cancer. I had a lot of stuff going on in my life. My late mother that we lost a couple of years ago had cancer, and once I finished my contract there, I had a number of teams pursuing me, and I was actually I agreed to terms with Pittsburgh, but ended up choosing to kind of focus on some other things that I felt were a little bit more important at the time, and I'm glad I did that, and ended up just kind of sticking with that and got into broadcasting. But football doesn't last forever, whether you play 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 10 years, as long as, in my opinion, you go out on the right foot, right, and you give everything you got, and at least can say you had that opportunity to chase your dreams and accomplish those dreams. I think that's the biggest thing. So it's not really a matter of what happened or whatever. I think, respectfully, I think there's a misconception that people think if you don't play 10 years in the NFL that it's not a successful career. I would say that I'm very pleased with everything that I did in my career. I mean, I walked away as a team captain of a team that's going to go down as one of the greatest programs, if not the greatest program in college football history. 2 national championships, 4 SEC championships. Was drafted to play in the NFL. Was set up. I haven't spent any of my NFL money. I'm doing just fine. Pretty much retired myself at the age of 25, and I would say everything actually worked out pretty well. So I think everything actually worked out the way it should have.
Well, I got you. I couldn't remember how. I just thought at Alabama you gave us maximum effort and was one of the top players there in the Saban era. And I guess just looking at things on the NFL side, like you said, most people would have thought 10 years. But hey, things happen for a reason, and
yeah, no, I mean, they call it the NFL, not for long, for a reason, right? I mean, whether it's injuries or whatever the case may be. So, like I said, I mean, I think we just got to get a new perspective. I think even like you look at guys like Luke Kuechly, played 7 years and he retired early, citing that he had concerns with his health, and people make it seem as if he didn't play at all or it was too short. 7 years is a long time. I mean, again, even being able to say you played in the NFL 3 years, that's a great accomplishment. So my biggest thing is, like I said, I think the problem is at Alabama, you just have so much talent. And I appreciate your comments about my career there. Yeah, no, I definitely did give everything I had for this university, without a doubt. But I think what happens is there's so much talent, so many guys that come from Alabama that, and obviously you talk about all the success that we had. Everybody expects every single guy that put on this crimson uniform to have a 10-year NFL Hall of Fame career. Sometimes health gets in the way. Sometimes they just don't translate to the next level. Sometimes that does actually happen. At the end of the day, everybody's path is different, and I think that's really all you can do is just show up every day. Do what you can. And for me, like I said, I mean, I could have played a lot longer. That wasn't a question. I mean, we can ask my agent, whatever you want to do. I mean, like we had, teams calling every single week, whether it was Green Bay, whether it was Pittsburgh, whether it was Seattle. I mean, every single week. Like I said, I had other things that were a lot more important that I needed to turn my attention to, and I wouldn't go back and change that for a second. If I could go back and do it, I wouldn't do anything different, because I got to spend as much time as possible with my mother. So, and I'm happy with what I do now with broadcasting. Like I said, I do other stuff off the field, but there's outside of broadcasting as well. But again, I have no complaints, man. I got to play in the NFL, accomplish my dreams, and I'm still involved in some capacity, and I'll never complain about that.
Yeah. Now, do you know who's going to be the new Alabama sideline reporter now that Damian Square is down West Alabama coaching?
I have no clue. I'll be honest with you. I haven't heard any updates on that. I'm sure they'll get another really great guy, another powerful, really experienced guy that's going to do a great job. But I personally don't know. I'm sure they'll probably announce it sometime soon, though. We're getting close to the season. But as for me, I anticipate still doing our post-game show. I do one with Gray Robertson on the network. Really good show. If you guys haven't checked it out, man, we do it about an hour after the game concludes, and we basically break down what happened in the game and give our thoughts and cover some games around the SEC. But, yeah, in terms of sideline report, I'm not too sure what they plan on doing that.
Yeah. Are you going to go down and help West Alabama any or watch the practices with the guys down there, some of your former teammates?
Man, I'm not going to be helping. I'm not on staff, but I definitely am going to support those guys. I talked with Reggie Ragland a few days ago, who's doing some work with them, and he's really excited about it. I talked with Thomas Fletcher, who's coaching there as well. Same thing, man. They're really optimistic and really looking forward to the season. But what I did tell Reggie is I'm going to get them on every week. That way we can put some attention on what they're doing there. I think it's really awesome, and I definitely want to cover them throughout the season. So bear with me, Alabama fans. I know we want to talk only Alabama football, but we will have to show some respect to my guys over at West Alabama and at least keep up with them and highlight everything that they're doing this season.
Yeah, well, I'd love to hear it. If you get the announcement on what time the segment might be, I'll tune in because, I like to see all the, former players do well in whatever they do. And have a good one, Christian. Thank you.
Yes, sir. You take care, buddy. Good deal. All right, we got to hit a timeout. We keep on rolling after this quick timeout. Tide 100.9, 1230, WTBC.
.365, 24/7. You'll find.
Oh man, this has been definitely one interesting show for sure, to say the least. We've just had some very interesting characters today. Christian does health, no doubt, man. Yeah, that's the thing. And to be fair, and I don't get offended. People ask something like that. Like, it's not. If anything, I take it as a compliment. That means they thought very highly of me playing here, 100%. But yeah, like I said, I just don't go parading all that around just because to me it's, it is what it is, bro. It's life. You know what I mean? Like, this is life, bro. You gotta do what you got to do. But exactly, like Berman said, yeah, on my own terms. That was my biggest thing, man. Like, you got other guys that, and if anything, it's things work out for a reason. A lot of guys struggle with not being able to figure all that out. I was able, like I said, since I went out on my own terms. I already was able to, prepare, life after football and all that stuff. So, Appreciate that, Justin. Yeah, no, I appreciate all the support, man. Definitely means a lot, man. We enjoy doing this. Thanks for sharing that. Future. Oh yeah, appreciate that, man. Yeah, no doubt. But yeah, so I mean, if you guys are ever wondering, oh yeah, what made you get into doing the broadcast? So yeah, really what kind of happened, man. I kind of stumbled upon it, honestly, man. With everything kind of going on, got asked to see that somebody reached out and said, hey, you want to get into try to doing a radio show or something like that? And at first I was like, probably not. But I was like, what the hell, I'll try it. So that's what I did. Yeah, no, without a doubt. I wish people understood that part too, man. When you got a lot of stuff going on, man, like, and I get it. Everybody does stuff. There's just guys that are playing that have all type stuff. Like, don't get me wrong. But, when you're trying to balance work and personal stuff, I mean, it's tough, man. Especially with, pursuing a career in professional football. I mean, I think people just see, what you see on Sundays, right? And they don't understand. I mean, it's a cutthroat business. I mean, you have to be able to give your 150% each and every day, compete day in, day out. I mean, you're talking about it's a matter of, you got a locker one day, next day, I mean, you get called in the office and they're cleaning your locker out. You know what I mean? And you could be playing some really good football. It's a business though. So trying to balance all that, man, and having a lot of other stuff going, I mean, it's just a lot, bro. It's definitely a lot.
205-752-9611.
This is Miller's Edge on Tide 100.9.
And welcome back into Miller's Edge, Tide 100.9, 1230 WTBC. A very interesting day here today on the show. It is a Wednesday, and we normally call it a wacky Wednesday, and it's been nothing short of that. All right, real quick, before we move on, got to remind you about our friends over at R&R Cigars. Remember, use that code Miller's Edge, rnrcigars.com for all those discounts, 20% off your orders when you use that code Miller's Edge. R&R Cigars, man, you can't beat it. Best humidor in the Southeast. When you go hang out there, man, there's plenty of people. You can talk ball, talk whatever. They got TVs throughout. You can watch your favorite sporting events. They put on those fights, UFC, boxing. They're like one of the only places in town that does that. So if you're ever looking for a place to watch a big fight weekend, head on over to R&R Cigars. Not only do you enjoy the fights, but all of it. They got 160 bourbons, man, or more, right? Drink responsibly. You can try while you're hanging out and doing that. And in football season, man, you got to check them out, man. They got the wraparound porch, TVs throughout. You can't beat it. Again, that is R&R Cigars, 2703 Gary Fitz Street is where you can find them here in Tuscaloosa. The big mansion, you can't miss it. R&R Cigars, the official cigar provider of Alabama football since 2014. Speaking of Alabama football, let's get back to it. Y'all's favorite. We got Greg McElroy. He's breaking down his SEC tiers. He has Alabama in tier 1. But in this video, he explains why he has them there and what he expects from them. So let's go ahead and hear from the former Alabama quarterback on his show, ESPN College Football, all that stuff on YouTube.
National championship contender. Remember, this is tier 1. So these teams can all win the national championship and go into the Alabama Crimson Tide. Now, Kalen DeBoer, year number 2. And if you look back at his tenure at Fresno, you look back at his tenure at Washington, the team takes a pretty significant jump from year number 1 to year number 2. Now, last year, people will point to the shortcomings and the inconsistencies. I don't anticipate that level of inconsistency this year. I think that last year, the highs were really, really high. I think back to the first half against Georgia, the whole game against LSU. But you also remember back to some of the lows. The Oklahoma performance was extremely disappointing. Vanderbilt, especially on the defensive side, very, very disappointing. So you look kind of over the course of all of last year, and there were moments where you just didn't get consistent output from both sides of the ball. Kalen DeBoer, though, in his press conference at SEC last year, addressed those things head on. He said, we've got to be better on third down. We got to be better on the road. We got to do a better job of managing situations. We got to be better in the red zone offensively. All the things that they came up short with last year, they are making that a huge priority this offseason. And I feel like Kalen DeBoer and the addition of Ryan Grubb, his new offensive coordinator, who's been with them for 13 years at the college level, dating all the way back to his time at Sioux Falls, that brain trust offensively should be in great shape. And then year 2 for Kane Womack calling the defensive shots, got to think that group from an identity standpoint will have a better understanding of the scheme that Kane Womack wants to run. I think both sides of the ball has better continuity. I think both sides of the ball has a better understanding of the philosophy adjustments that they had to endure last year, and should be well equipped to move into this season feeling quite good. Let's talk about some positions of strength before we get to the question marks. Okay, running back, I think, has a chance to be a position of strength. Jam Miller has already shown that he can be a go-to guy. Richard Young is a guy that's going to get downhill, run extremely hard. Did get a little banged up last year, but expect him to be fully recovered. And Daniel Hill, those three guys there in the backfield can all be really good situationally, depending on what the offense needs. I think wide receiver has a chance to be much better than it was a year ago. If you look at last year, it was Ryan Williams and a bunch of guys that kind of played at times a little out of position. Now they have very obvious roles and responsibilities. The addition of Isaiah Horton from Miami is going to give you that prototypical X wide receiver. It's going to be a possession guy, big body guy in the red zone that you can throw it in his direction. And he's going to go up and win those contested 50-50 balls. You have Ryan Williams. He now can move to a more traditional spot where he can play in the slot, but he can also play at the outside wide receiver on the strong side. He's going to be able to take the top off the defense just like he did last year. And then Jeremy Bernard, another year in development, another year of anticipating him kind of living in the slot and being a great position of strength. You bring back arguably the best center in college football in Parker Brailsford. You got a great left tackle in Caden Proctor. You have a great right guard in Jaden Roberts. Now there's competition at the left guard spot. There's competition at the right tackle spot. But they feel like their depth is better this year than it was a year ago. And then on the defensive side, they should be rock solid. Now, they're a little thin in a few spots. They don't have as many bodies as they once did. Talking back in 2016, 2018, the depth of those rosters when they go 8, 9, 10 deep along the defensive line, those days are long gone. But their starting 11 should be very, very good, headlined by the linebackers, Justin Jefferson, who's got great speed, and Deontay Lawson, who has legitimate All-American capability, assuming he can stay healthy. They have to stay healthy, but they should feel pretty good about what they have. And then last year, if you think back, we were having this conversation about youth in the secondary. They at times had to rely on 3 true freshmen on the field at a time in the secondary. That is no more. All those guys that played a bunch early on, they have now blossomed into year 2 players, and we should expect a pretty big jump collectively from that group across the board. They're healthier. They should be in a better spot, and they'll have a better understanding of what Kane Womack wants to do from a defensive coverage and disguise standpoint. Let's get to the question marks. Quarterback. Very obvious question mark. We've been talking about quarterback competitions for weeks and weeks and weeks. Alabama might have as intriguing competition as there is. Ty Simpson, as of this moment, is the front runner, but he's got to go and secure the job in the fall. He's always had talent. He's always had athleticism. He's always been accurate on the deep ball, but now it's about belief. It's about understanding situations and distributing the ball where it needs to go, depending on what the defense dictates. But you do not want to lose sight of what Austin Mack might be able to do. Big, 6'6", 235-pound guy that can really throw the ball downfield. And then the outrageously talented true freshman Keelan Russell, who you need to keep an eye on. The longer this competition goes, the more realistic it becomes for Keelan Russell to potentially find his way on the field in meaningful moments this fall. So that's a 3-way battle right now that I think could be very intriguing as we move a little bit closer to that week 1 game against Florida State. Also a little concerned about the pass rush. Who's going to be the go-to guy? Now, I think Quay Rusaw has all the ability in the world to be that guy, but now he's got to go out there and do it. He's got really good, solid pieces on the interior that should be able to help stop the run. But on obvious passing situations, who's the guy that can go get his own shot and apply pressure single-handedly? That's a big question that they need to iron out as well. Across the board, though, you look at Bama, I think they are in a really good spot. Tight end, a question mark as well, but one that I think can be overcome with some of the veterans that they brought in. Probably not going to be guys that blow the stat sheet up, but they're going to be solid and do what they're asked to do within the confines of the offensive system. You look at the schedule, very tough. At Florida State, I think it's a dangerous game. Tough game for sure. Florida State, they've had that one circled for the last 2 years. I think they'll have a couple tricks up their sleeve too. So that's a tricky game in week 1. You go to Georgia. That is on September 27th. You have Tennessee at your house on the third Saturday in October. You got LSU at your house on November 8th. Will be a huge game between another team that I think can potentially make a significant run this year. Oklahoma comes to you as well. Another game in Tuscaloosa. Noticing a trend here, a lot of their more difficult games are in the friendly confines of Bryant-Denny Stadium before they finish up in the Iron Bowl by taking a trip across the state to play against the Auburn Tigers. I think Alabama has a big year. I'm a believer. I'm buying. I think they are a legitimate national championship contender in year number 2 for Kalen DeBoer.
So there you have it. Former Alabama quarterback Greg McElroy on his show, listing all the reasons he feels that Alabama will be a national title contender. And I think pretty much everybody would agree with everything he said, man. A lot of great points from obviously having, Horton come in, being able to put those guys in that receiver room and very, specific roles that, Ryan can, work a little bit more inside, also still have them outside. I mean, a number of things that you're going to see from that unit this season. Sorry, I got confused. I'm trying to do a million things on my computer right now. With that offense, obviously the running game, hopefully you see that improved. But I definitely, without a doubt, have Alabama as a tier 1 team this season and a national title contender. Chase, I think you mentioned Tommy circled back. Was he still on the line? I feel bad I don't want to leave him holding if he's still there. I just remembered that it looked like you said he circled back, but maybe he's not there. Is he there?
Hey, Tom, are you still there?
Yeah, I'm still there.
Tommy,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, man.
Tommy?
Yeah, he's there.
No, when I was kidding your dad about the lightning saying I was like, I said, you're going to get hit. My power blinked, and it rained for 2 minutes, and thunder. I'm like, Troy is sending me some lightning bolts. I better knock it off. I was going to tell him that, but no. My power blinked when we was getting on that. I'm like, holy cow.
Wow.
No.
Wow.
I just want to circle back and enjoy the show. Thanks for taking my call and let me come back the second time. I know you got all the callers waiting.
No,
I'll see
you're
you in
good.
the morning.
Yeah, no, you're good. No,
All
I was about to say we have an app message that we're going to hit, but other than that, I think we're all good. I was going to let you if you had something you wanted to throw back in there. I know my dad's not on anymore, but I thought about. I was like looking at our thing, and I was like, wait, I think Tommy called back in. I got it confused because I know Mike dropped and called back in, but then dropped again. I think I got it all confused. But yeah, no, if you're good, then I can let you run whatever you want to do.
Oh yeah, I'm good. It's just like I said, we talked about the quarterback at Florida State. We talked about our quarterback won't help win the Super Bowl. I know Oklahoma won't take credit. They should. I mean, it was a process that made Jalen Hurts a better quarterback. It was a growth thing. All right, let's move on back. And we can get by Florida State. It's the first game. Everybody got butterflies the first game because you have high hopes. Everybody's undefeated. Everybody a national championship contender in their own minds. But, we just see how we do against Florida State. I mean, there's a lot of questions got to be answered. And they will be answered as the season goes. That's what makes college football so beautiful and wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
Kristen and your staff, I hope y'all have a great day. I shall talk to you tomorrow. Roll Tide, buddy.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you, Tommy. Roll Tide, man. Good deal. Hey, man, Tommy's a trooper, man. I felt bad. He's waiting back on there. But Tommy, man, he's a great dude, man. Really, really nice dude. Chase, I know we got that app message. I think we got about a couple minutes left because we combine breaks. So let's pull that app message up and see what we got there.
You got it, Christian. We got an app message from Marky and Bessemer. He said, Christian, I read the article on your brother this morning. It was awesome. Have you followed him? Have followed him for some time and seen him live a few times. He's a great guy, and you guys come from a great family. Keep making us proud. Roll Tide.
Oh, nice. Well, I didn't even know. That came out. I know he mentioned that. Well, not he mentioned. There's a. Thank you very much for those words. Really kind words, Marky. Thank you so much. Number one. Number two, he's talking about my brother who DJs here. He's DJs all around the Southeast, travels and plays and does shows. But he's also as you guys are probably aware, but if you weren't, he's the DJ for the men's basketball team. here in Tuscaloosa. So if you ever have gone to a basketball game, you're wondering who's, mixing the music and doing all that, that would be my brother. And I know they had someone from the Tuscaloosa News that wanted to do an article on him and his his success kind of in the music industry. I always tell people he was a better athlete than me growing up. He played basketball, football, played all positions in football. I just always stuck with linebacker, defensive end. I played tight end 1 year. He played running back, returner, tight end, defensive end, could jump, out the gym, played basketball. But now he's converted himself into, a very successful music DJ and producer, and working with sports teams and all types of stuff. But that being said, they wrote an article on him, and I guess it had come out today. So I haven't read it yet, but if you guys are interested, man, check it out. I'm looking at it now. It's on the Tuscaloosa News website, TuscaloosaNews.com. You can see it. It's an article on my brother. Again, he goes by the name of DJ's Two Checks, but his name is CJ. He's actually Corey Jr., as you guys know. My dad, Corey Miller. This is my brother, Corey Jr. But there's a really cool article that they had written on him. And I guess I'm about to read it now. Not on the show because we got to get out of here, but I'm going to read it as we get out of here. You guys check it out. Marky said it's really good, and he really enjoyed it. So thank you, Marky, for that comment. But that being said, we got to get out of here. Definitely been a wacky Wednesday, man. Tomorrow, we'll do it all again. But I just want to say thank you for everybody, all the support, Chase, Find the Glass, all you guys, man. Definitely appreciate you guys. Always a good time with you right here on the Miller's Edge, presented by the Good Feet Store, America's Arch Support Experts. We'll see you guys tomorrow.